My topic for tonight is Gary fucking Baba Booey Delabate. Gary, you fuck. I love you, I do. And I don't consider you a piece of shit, but you're kind of a piece of shit. When I first started here, he always said to me, it's a boys club, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be hard for you. The only fucking one that treats me any different than everybody else is Gary. Take the 10 extra fucking steps, stop playing Sporkle or fucking Solitaire or whatever the fuck it is, and come and tell me what you need to tell me. It's not my fucking job to clean out your fucking refrigerator. You made me order another one so it wouldn't fucking happen, and the fact that you called me in there, you can't intercom me to tell me that a fucking meeting's canceled, but you can intercom me to come and clean out your fucking refrigerator? Fuck you, you fuck.
By the way, Tracey got a ton of email last night.
She's here.
Yeah. Oh, she is. Did you guys see each other?
Yeah, she came to me, talked to me about business, and I was very...
But was it awkward?
Yeah, totally awkward for me, not for her.
Nothing was said about last night's show.
No. She came in to talk to me. I said, save it for the air. And then she said, so we had to talk about business. And I said, okay, distribute those accordingly. You know what to do. And
right.
And then she walked away. I said, I say that respectfully.
So Tracey and Gary just had their first interaction. It was awkward. I don't know who wrote that, but evidently everyone in the office was on edge. Well, there's a lot of debate whether Tracey should really do the show. I thought the show was a home run in the sense that she did the happy hour. She
delivered.
She delivered. Unfortunately, you were the victim, Gary.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She called you an asshole.
A fucking asshole.
A fucking asshole.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
A lazy fuck.
You don't invite her to your ski house.
Fuck you.
My chalet.
Yeah. Do you want me to bring Tracey in so that maybe you could have some closure?
I mean, we probably need to finish it off, and I'd rather do it with you than
not with me.
Well, and then get crazy on the wrap-up show, right?
All right.
If we're going to do it all on the air, let's live life on the air.
All right, Tracey, come on in if you don't mind, and let's... Well, look, listen, first of all, I feel Tracey did a very good radio show. She did. She did a good show. Whether or not the show is healthy for the office environment is another consideration.
But do you care?
Well, I care that everyone's comfortable. Tracey, you did an excellent job. There's no question about it.
You need to grab those or go over there.
Tracey, is it awkward for you today, the day after the happy hour, so to speak?
Yeah. I mean, I was up last night a lot.
You were upset about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right. Listen, you did nothing wrong in the sense that that's the show. The show is you spouting and spewing out your feelings. You get the poison out, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Right. Nevertheless, it does cause discomfort between you and Gary the next day.
Sure.
Right.
I think there's a difference between being mad at an ex-intern that never worked under her and trashing the shit out of your boss. It's a different level. I'm not saying that she's not allowed to do it, but I'm allowed to be upset by it.
Absolutely. And so would an intern. Anybody could be upset by it. But the point is, I think it came up. To be honest with you, I left my radio here.
Right.
So I think you said, you were talking about the cleaning of the refrigerator.
Yes.
Or you had said, well, why doesn't she ever come to me on this stuff? I come to you all the time. You just don't listen to me. Because I did tell you how I felt about the refrigerator. We had the conversation. You don't remember because you don't listen to me.
And how did I respond when you said that? Was I mean? Have I ever spoken to you in a demeaning way? Have I ever said to you, hey, I'm the fucking boss, do what I say or shut the fuck up? Anything like that?
That's not the point. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. And you, whether you want to admit it or not, you treat me differently than you do the rest of the staff.
Tracey, you think everybody treats you differently. You feel
That's
wronged.
not true.
You feel wronged by probably the whole world. You feel wronged by everybody. You feel like there's a lack of respect, and everybody walks on eggshells around you. And for the most part, people like you. And I told Howard off the air, and Howard will back me up on this. You do the best job of your actual job of anyone who's ever done this. It's the people skills where it gets weird. And people come to me, they're afraid of you. You get mad at somebody and weeks on end, you just ignore them, and it's probably not a healthy way. And I probably should have spoken to you about it earlier than now. I probably let it go on a little too long because I don't like conflict.
Well, I don't know who necessarily feels that way or who said that to you. I mean, I have, I hang out with these people, the ones that I care about, socially outside the office. I know their wives. I know their girlfriends. I hang out with them. I consider them friends. The ones that aren't my friends, I really don't care.
But do you think it's healthy to stop talking to somebody for 2 or 3 weeks at a time?
The only person that I'm not talking to and haven't been talking to is Benji.
But in the history of being here
I'm not talking to him either if I want to go
we all try to
in the history of being
Can I
here
join you on that?
In the history of being here for 4.5 years, has he been the only person you haven't talked to for long periods of time?
You can all bond over hate over me.
What is that?
I'm glad you can all bond over hate over me.
Tracey, let me ask you a question and interrupt this dialogue. Is the Tracey happy hours, as much radio gold as it is it worth continuing? Because you are in an awkward position. You're the office manager, and therefore, maybe Gary is making a good point that it's impossible for you to do the show properly.
I agree.
And do your job properly.
The two people that I've brought up on it were Scott and Gary.
Right.
And Scott, even after the next day when we talked on the wrap-up show, him and I had kind of an awkward discussion on air about what he really thought the issue was. And I said, no, I don't think that's the issue. We went back and forth. And the next day, Scott and I totally made up. And I think now we get along better than ever.
You're saying the communication led to a healthier relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, I would,
because I think we got to the root of the problem based on what went on the show.
We probably could have gotten to the root of the problem in my office.
We could have, but again, you don't listen to me. You don't make time for me. You would rather sit in the bullpen and talk about the fucking Mets or Bruce Springsteen than actually have a discussion with me.
Tracey, do I stop by your office? Do I stop by your office once a week?
No.
Once every 2 weeks to sit down, ask you what you're up to?
Come on. Come on. In 4.5 years, Gary, we've had lunch 3 times. Three times.
Okay, and how many times have I had lunch with Will and Jason? I don't take people out to lunch.
You take them skiing, and then you offer to take them to the Friars Club.
But wait, on the skiing thing, Gary explained.
We're not friends. We're not friends.
Hold on,
You're friends with
hold
the
on.
guys.
You don't even. There's an explanation which you're unaware of.
All right,
let
go
him
ahead.
talk.
Well, Gary was claiming this morning the ski trip was. He says in everyone's mind the ski house is like a ski chalet because it's a little shack that I rent, and he says and there's one bedroom. So I brought 4 guys. They're all in their underwear. He says, there's no way it would have been appropriate to bring a woman there who works with us. And, I get that.
I just feel like the way things go on with Gary in the office, everything is like a secret. And then at the last minute, everyone who wasn't invited to something finds out that these 5 came to a barbecue. These 4 were invited to this. It's always the same people on the outside finding out from other people and him being like secretive about it.
I don't know who makes an announcement.
But it feels like people are almost told not to talk about it.
No, it feels that way to you.
He doesn't.
Because you have
You're
this.
wrong, because I've had the discussion with the other guys.
You have a complex. You think
You're
the world
wrong.
is out to get you.
You're wrong.
If you invited 4 people to your house, would you come to me and tell me? If I'm not one of them,
I wouldn't make it seem like it's a secret.
I don't make it seem like it's a secret either. People tend to treat it. If they treat it that way, that's not me. I don't tell people don't say anything to Tracey.
You're saying
that's
that
in
it's
your
my
head.
complex, but I've had the conversation with the other people who tell me they feel the same way.
Well, they might, but I'm not telling anybody not to say it.
Don't tell me that it's me. Don't tell me that I'm the one with the fucking complex.
It's
when
you.
I'm telling you, other people are saying the same thing.
It's you.
It's okay. Then apparently I'm having the fucking conversation with myself.
I think you have a lot of conversations with yourself. No, I do. I think you have a lot of conversations with yourself where you feel everybody agrees. The key word with you is respect. And if you don't, you're either with Tracey or against Tracey. There's no in between. And if you don't fully support Tracey, then you're her enemy.
Listen, there are a lot of people here I know damn well don't fully support me. Don't kid yourself about that. That's
See,
absolutely not.
I love the radio of. You did a great job last night, but I maybe for work it's not so good.
Well, you know what? I think she should continue to do the show because she's already fucked over she's already fucked over her boss. Anybody else she screws over won't be as big. But it won't be as bad as this. So I say continue to do the show.
Well, listen.
Well, we could find other things to talk about. I mean, to be honest with you, I did the first show and I was flat out told by Tim, okay, you need to be angrier, you need to be edgier, you need to do this. This is what we want. This is why we want you to do the show.
Of course.
But then if I'm going to get fucked the next day, it's not worth it. I don't need that shit.
I'm saying that's the problem.
You make me seek out reasons why, and then when I do exactly what you ask, I'm the fucking asshole.
Except for one
and
thing.
I have issues and talk to myself.
I don't think you're an asshole. I thought it was pretty good.
Here's the thing. Nobody's making you do anything. If the show is so uncomfortable for you, say, you know what, Tim? I don't feel comfortable fucking yelling.
Well,
about
then
my
now
boss.
I will.
But you should.
I wanted it to be fun. But if this is going to be the fallout of it, it's not fun.
I liked it.
What part of last night's show did you think would be fun for me?
Gary, if I thought you were mature enough like Scott to actually have the discussion with me after and we could work it out, that would be fine. But you chose to come in here and we're going to discuss it and it's going to be what it is. And you're going to tell me I have issues and that's going to be it.
You trash me on the air and Howard plays the clips the next day. Should
Did
I have
anything
not
I say, was anything I said not true?
I didn't. I explained why
he doesn't play Sporkle.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't play Sporkle. Okay.
I explained why I didn't bring you to the ski house.
I'm sure. He doesn't even know what it is.
Why I canceled the Friars Club. I did not feel I was demeaning you when I asked you to empty the refrigerator. But if you feel that way, I apologize. But I needed it to get emptied because it was gross.
His rap on
you remember
his rap on the refrigerator was. that you're the office manager, and the whole office was using his refrigerator, and he didn't want to throw out everyone's food.
No.
So he felt that you should.
Don't say no, because no is what I think. You don't know
There
what
is
I
a
think.
reason why we bought another refrigerator. You didn't want anyone using your refrigerator.
right.
So how am I supposed to fucking know whose shit is in there? You said, and it wasn't about cleaning it out because it was gross. They were coming to work on the air conditioning system here, okay? They were turning off the power, and you thought things were going to go bad, and you said, I don't really know what in here is mine and what's mine, and we need to get this out of here because they're turning it off. And I said, okay, Gary. And I picked up a garbage can. I said, Gary, is this yours? You said no. So I threw it in the garbage. Picked up the next thing. Is this your... Because you couldn't do this? You needed to call me in to stop what I'm fucking doing to clean out your refrigerator?
See, how do you respond to that? This is when somebody talks to you like that, how do you deal with it?
That's degrading and it's demeaning, Gary. And if you don't see it that way, that's your issue. And this is an example of why I think you're an elitist. Why you think that's okay. I don't even sit in the bullpen. Why didn't you ask Jason to go in and do it?
I'm already tuned out. And I don't mean like
I'm sure
I don't care what you say.
Because you normally are when I talk to you about anything.
I don't mean I don't care what you say. I mean there's no talking to you at this point. There's no talking to you. You're on...
Now, the other accusation
put your foot on the
was-
fucking gas and throwing a brick on it, and you're not going to hear another word.
Okay.
All right, but the other accusation was, there was one other one that I thought was, the one that I felt I could help you with. That Gary doesn't, like, sometimes he'll send Will or Jason down to your office to tell you something. But I have to admit, I get Gary in here sometimes, and I say to him, Gary says, I can cancel the meeting if I can get through 50 things. So he starts, and I start giving him a whole bunch of stuff to do. He says, make sure you tell Tracey right away. He turns to Will or Jason. He says, make sure you tell Tracey to cancel the meeting, because he knows, like, Doug Hurwood comes over here, and a whole bunch of guys come down.
Sure, absolutely.
So he says, go tell Tracey, I can't do this right now. I need to meet with Howard. I've got 3 seconds during a commercial. So he uses them as conduits to you.
Absolutely.
But
and I understand that.
Oh, you do? All
But
right.
then
But
why'd you
I
bring it
feel
up
like
as-
I think that was just one example, the meeting, of things that happens with. And I think a lot of the times, it's like, I don't know who thinks what, but it's like, as back to the meeting, it'll be canceled. And I'll say, hey, is the meeting canceled? He'll say, I don't know yet. I'm going to talk to Howard, see what I can get through.
Right.
Fine, absolutely. But then like a half an hour later, I'll come out, is the meeting canceled? And Jason will say, yeah, Gary didn't tell you. And Gary say, yeah, Jason should have told you. Well, somebody tell me. I mean...
But that's not.
you-
But that's not your complaint. Your complaint is that I send underlings to talk to you, and that's insulting and demeaning. That's the complaint.
No, it's that you can't address
No,
me
that's
yourself.
exactly what you said.
It's that you won't address me yourself.
Right.
That's what I just said.
But
But
sometimes
it's
he doesn't
not
have
about
time.
the underling. I don't give a shit who does it. It's about the fact that you don't do it.
But
Right.
that would be sending someone else. It's exactly what bothers you.
But I don't call them underlings or whatever.
Well, that's
I
how you
just
feel, because
like
obvious-
you don't address me directly on things. And it's not just the meeting. It's if this is broken, if that's broken, if something's
I
not
mean,
working.
for you to
can't
be
just
for you
hit
to be
the-
upset,
the intercom button.
For you to be upset because the bathroom's flooded, you are the office manager.
I'm not upset about that.
Who else would I tell?
I'm not upset
But you
about
brought
that.
that up. You,
You're
you
the-
only
that's
call me
because-
when the fucking bathroom's broken.
Yeah.
She's saying
And
that
that's
to you.
just
fine,
not true.
But you don't call me for anything else.
That's just not true, Tracy. You know that's not true.
That's the
You
way
can-
I feel, Gary.
I know,
I'm entitled
because
to
you
my
are
feelings,
you are
and you're
the
entitled
victim.
to yours.
You're the victim of this conspiracy to
I gotta
disrespect
tell
you.
you.
It's
All right, here's my
conspiracy.
evaluation.
Okay.
Number one, the show was a home run.
Do it
That's-
more.
Well, listen, it's up to Tracey if she wants to do the show.
She
just-
clearly has the anger to do it.
Okay, Gary.
she also is doing a
In
performance.
fact, I have a strange feeling that there's a part 2 of me that's ready to go.
Is there? Because then
No,
I
I
have to,
think I'm done with Gary.
then I have to get back on the air.
Don't
with
be
her.
afraid. I don't think you are anyway.
If I was, I wouldn't have done it the first time.
Well, anyway, everyone loves the show. But, you know.
Except me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you don't. You shouldn't do it.
And my agita.
Well,
I
then
just quit smoking. I can't deal with this shit. I can't deal with this. I just want to go smoke a pack of Marlboro Reds.
Oh, forget it. You know, when I quit smoking, I had just broken my ankle. And there is nothing worse than sitting around the house not smoking when you break your ankle. But I don't know. Listen, you two will patch it up. I know that. Well,
You know, I just want to say something. Like Tracy said, I've only taken her to lunch 3 times since we've been here. I think I've only taken Will to lunch once, and Jason probably never.
yeah, I don't take anyone. Like, I have Laura and I have been working together for a million years. We very rarely even sit down and talk.
I think, though, what
there's just no
Tracey
time.
is saying is that she sees a difference. You have a relationship and
More
a
with the other guys.
friendship with the other people, and you treat her just like an employee.
I think what Tracy's saying,
Thank you,
which is
Robin.
unbelievable, she actually wants to hang out with you. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm shocked.
Listen,
I mean, wow, she likes
this
you.
was another thing that I brought up. It's I made the
You
comment
want to
about
hang out with Fafa Fooey?
when I talked about how he tells the stories and and it's he can be a little repetitive. There's a couple of stories I've heard a couple of
little?
times. But he really is very interesting, and he's done some cool things. He's been to some cool places, hung out with cool people. I do enjoy his
Listening.
company.
Yes.
But if it's, a struggle to get it, it's just not worth the struggle.
All right. She wants more of you.
Yeah. She's saying that she'd like some of your attention.
And it's also very strange for me because, before I worked here, when I worked for Harvey and I were very close. Harvey is family to me.
Yeah.
And to not have a relationship with anyone that I consider in that type of role, it sucks. It sucks. And I feel sometimes like I have no one to go to when I need something for work.
Yeah,
like it just doesn't matter to you the way it does to me. The things that I have to deal with.
I don't. I'm unavailable to everyone, so I understand Gary's. I really don't want to meet with anyone. The less meetings I have, the better.
You see me. You come down the hall, and I run in my office not to bother you.
Yeah, I love that.
In.
I thought you were happy. I thought, like everyone else, you don't even want to see me. Go ahead. So listen. So what's going to be the outcome here? Tracey, you think you should continue doing the show, even though it's a hit? Maybe you should think about walking away from it. It's hard to walk away from you. You're the new Oprah.
Oh, great. Look at me. Oh, I always wanted to be Oprah. I'll take her money, but I don't want her fucking job.
You're Oprah without the money.
Exactly.
What do you think?
Not any fun there.
The show is a hit, but this is very hard to do.
If we could find something outside the compound to piss me off, maybe, but I'm done back here.
Well, you work a lot of hours, so I'm sure you're pissed off mostly about work. Gary, you took a hit last night. Are you and Tracey going to be able to get past this?
At some point, we'll figure it out.
Right.
It always sort of does, but today it's a very open wound for me, and I think I'm entitled to that.
That's fine.
Well,
now it's one for me too.
What about Lisa G?
I think neither of us really
meant to come. Yeah, I don't. It's whatever.
Doing a show, sometimes you feel the pressure to keep the show going. Right. Now you know my problem.
Yeah.
I say a lot of shit. I get off the air. I get blamed for a lot of stuff, and I go, I don't even know I said it.
It goes so fast, you don't even...
Yeah, you don't know.
Like, I was up all night. Like, did I say that or did I think that? Yeah.
I was up all night. I swear to God, I did not get to bed till midnight last night because it was like 9:45, and I always check my email right before I go to bed, and I saw this email that Fred sent out.
I was almost not going to send that because
I told you,
no good can come of this, but I got to send it.
The one email that stood out was, I always knew Gary was an elitist, racist, homophobic, disgusting pig.
Bad.
That was bad.
So I was like, so now based on that one email, I'm like, racist, homophobic. I got to sort. What could it be?
Right. I thought Tracey called you a racist and homophobic. I said, well, it must have been a really good show.
No black people at the ski house? I couldn't figure it out. And no, so then I was up, and then.
Well, maybe
I got it, and then I went to go to bed. It was like 10:30, and at 10:45, I got up again to go check the email to see if anybody wrote any new shit. There was no. And then I got back up at 11:30. Like I was waiting for some insight.
Right.
I don't know, Tracey. It's tough, this radio business.
Yeah.
It's lonely.
It's lonely.
I want to be Fred. Fred's got it easy.
Play sound effects.
I'll do it.
That's it.
I'll do it.
Well, I think
in time it'll fix itself.
It'll work itself out.
Like he said, will it be today? No.
No. Maybe
do I
tomorrow.
want to call it the end of the day today?
A lot of it will have to do
have
with
it fixed by tomorrow.
And a lot of it will have to do if you resign.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No sense fixing this. If the end of the year is the end of it, why should we fix it?
Let me talk about that for a second.
Off then, I don't
First of
care.
all, we're talking about, I was counting everyone, May, now watch my math, you ready?
Yeah.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yeah, we're all counting.
That's
we know.
8 months.
Yeah. You
It's
think
not
that's a lot?
7 months.
You think that's a lot of time?
It's a year.
It's not a year.
It's not a year.
A year is 12
You're
months.
saying 8 months is not a year?
not a year.
How many months in a year then?
12. 3/4 of a year.
Oh, I
What
didn't
am
know
I,
that.
Lupe?
I didn't know
Come on.
that.
No, but it's
But you're rounding up.
It's a year. 8 months sounds like an inordinate amount of time.
it does if
It
you
sounds
know.
like a lifetime. We could all be dead in 8 months.
It's a long time if you know.
Yeah,
what-
maybe something will hit this building and I won't make it
Yeah,
out.
Robin still can't walk down those steps.
Like I've already had a couple of people ask to, they need some time with me privately, and I know where that's going.
Who asked for
I'm not
time?
going to say.
Tell them to come in
No,
here.
I'm
I'll
not gonna
answer
say.
all their questions.
But I know where that's
Listen,
going, and I understand
I don't
why.
even know what I'm doing.
Right.
Because Beth said to me last night when I go do all these interviews, what if some of the interviews ask me what you're going to do in 8 months? I said, tell them the truth. How the hell do I know? I don't have any offers on the table.
The big question I'm getting, I think, is at what
Except for
point,
two.
At what point is it fair to start looking for another job? In other words, if it were October,
Right now is the time to start
if
looking.
it were September,
I don't know how to answer that. I don't want to lose
would you be
anybody.
mad at somebody if they went and took another job in
No,
September? Because
of course not. I have a tremendous responsibility here. There's a lot of people who depend on me to keep working. And I don't know what I'm doing. So how do I answer the question?
I think there's a lot
Right,
of people.
Tracy?
Right.
A lot of
Or
people.
am I a douchebag?
Well,
Am I a douchebag, Tracy?
No.
Oh, am I a fucking asshole?
No.
Oh, thank you.
But it's
Thank God.
Is he
It's
a
not
piece of
like
shit?
Am I a piece of shit? All right, not so much.
No.
Am I a little
fucking piece of shit.
Am I a fucking piece of shit? I don't know what to do. It's not up to me.
I feel like you can't base your life on everybody else.
Right. But I do.
I feel like, it's kind of weird. You're in this catch-22 that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Right.
And you've done your time, and you should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do.
But maybe I should announce now I'm leaving. But I don't know.
Exactly. But at the same time, the people that work here, especially in today's economy, when we found out in December, like 700,000 people stopped looking for jobs.
Right.
People are going to start looking, and you could find yourself in a situation in September where you have no staff.
I know.
Howard, there are very, very, very talented people. And
Who are they?
You know one of them. It's a guy that used to work for us, who I think is an incredibly talented guy. It took him 18 months to find a job.
That's true. I know who you mean.
And I think that guy's an amazing talent.
He is.
And that's a long time to be out of work.
I know. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I am really... What are you laughing about?
Oh, JD.
I feel betrayed by me, too.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I don't. I can't just say I have a job here in 8 months. How can I say that?
What?
It's not up to me if I have a job in 8 months.
Of course it is.
Oh, it is?
Don't be ridiculous.
Well, I thought it's up to Mel.
Stop it now.
I think the thing that's really...
Who's my boss?
Nobody.
Howard,
So who am I supposed to sign with?
I think
Tracey show.
I think the thing that's really freaking people out.
All right. I don't want to work anymore.
Is that nobody even knows
freaking me out.
if there's talks or any efforts being made.
There's no talks.
See, that's interesting to me from all perspectives. Why aren't they talking to you? Why aren't you talking to them?
They offered to talk to me.
He won't talk.
I'm not talking. I see the trouble Tracey got into.
See? Keep your mouth shut. You're better
No, you're
off.
right. I don't know what.
Fuck you.
Like, I think if people felt they knew some sort of negotiation was going on.
No, it's very complicated.
Well,
know.
that would mean he knew what he wanted to do. That's where he is. He doesn't know what
I know what I want to do.
Huh?
I know what I want.
Oh,
to
you
do.
do?
I do.
Well, this is new.
I want to stick my head in an oven.
Okay. Let's all stick our heads in the oven then.
I have a theory on what I think you want to do. May I put it out there?
Go ahead.
Why do you have a theory?
Because you hear things. I think that you would like to continue here, but on your own terms.
Right.
I think you have terms that you want. I think
Yes.
you'd like to continue doing this. I think you love satellite radio over terrestrial radio greatly.
Yes.
And I think that you just like to work. There's certain things that you'd like to do.
Yes. Yes, but that's complicated. It's simple, and yet it's complicated.
But why aren't you talking to anybody about it since you know what you want to do?
Right.
Why wasn't I invited to the ski house? So I could sit in that shitty little room
No, but wait a
Be in
minute.
your
Jason
underwear
and
with,
fart.
Robinson-
with Jason.
Robinson brings up a
Where's
point.
I can't believe
electric
Tracey
bag
wants to go to the ski house. Take her there.
wasn't
Punish her by taking her there.
I know.
I'm
Why
going to
aren't
fart.
you talking to somebody if you know
I
what you
don't know.
want?
I don't know.
Then I don't believe he knows what he wants to do because he'd be talking.
There are people. Because it's more complicated. There are other situations involved now. There are
That
other.
just stopped everybody.
There are other situations.
What?
It's not that simple. It's going to take a long time to
You
sort
get
this
so
out.
complicated.
I know. This dumb show is complicated. Now listen.
It's got a lot of moving parts.
But here's the thing.
Says.
I respect that people are afraid because I would be. I would be very annoyed by this situation. That we don't know what's going to happen in 8 months. I could either be out of the business or I could be onto something exciting and new that would include all of us, which is what would be the ideal situation. We have a talented group. Despite you and Tracey not getting along, I love the two of you. This is just, it's going to resolve itself. I know that.
They're created by man. We can solve them by man.
Right, Tim. We have a fun group. We all have a good time together.
The show works.
I think
Well,
you should
we
have
thought
Tracy
we
to the
did.
ski house so she can see what a shithole it
Here's
is.
the funniest thing. Here's the funniest thing of all.
Then she's going to get on the air and say,
Can't
Gary
you even
invited me to that
come up with a
shithole.
day?
Last
Give me
week,
a
can I tell you something? Last week,
Can Tracy go up there today?
I got to bring this up. Last week, Mary came to me, and her exact words were, we need to have Richard and Sal and Tracy up to the house. They haven't been to the house yet.
Well, maybe you ought to, Tracy.
I don't know. I have a hard time.
Yeah, it's a little
finding my
weird
house
now.
It's a little weird
Like,
now.
I got to wait a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to have
schlep.
somebody at your house who hates you.
Tracy just wants to sit at that shitty
She
movie
never
theater
said
of
she
yours.
I
hated
never
you.
said I hated you.
It
Yeah.
felt that way. That's
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Well, let me tell you something. Tracy wants to sit in that shitty movie theater in those shitty bar
She
stools.
wants to try a stool.
Yeah. By the way, unlike Tracy, I don't want to go to your home. I've been there. It's enough. Once is enough. Maybe if Tracy went there once, she'd get out of her system.
I've been there twice. It's really nice.
Your Fred's seen the second half.
Tracy,
Twice?
Fred has been there
I've been
twice.
twice.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
See, I
Really
told
nice
you I
house.
wanted to be Fred. This is
You'd
it.
like it.
In all fairness, one of the times Fred was at my house, we were on our way to go visit Artie. It wasn't like it was a pleasure trip.
Why wasn't Tracy visiting Artie?
I'm not sure
You know
why
how
Fred
much
and
fun
I
it
went
is?
to visit
You know
Artie.
how much fun it is visiting Artie?
I'm not sure if Artie wanted Fred and I
Tracy,
there.
you missed out on a great day.
But it was a nice trip.
Right. Gee, I can't imagine being in that shitty ski house and then going to visit Artie. Being in Gary's life is second to none.
I love the ski house, but
I'm going to
it
give you
is
some
tiny.
advice, Tracy. Stay out of Gary's life. You have no idea how horrible it is.
It's fine.
You know,
It's fine. I'm out.
get out.
An evil loop.
It sounds better on paper.
Yeah.
All right, you two will be fine. Tracy,
will.
you did a good
We'll be
job
fine.
on the show.
Thank you.
You let it all out. You let the poison out.
I let the poison out.
You certainly
Yeah,
did.
you know, I was thinking about that the other day too. You know, somebody sent a note last night that said that Tracy's going to die of a heart attack. I have the exact opposite feeling. I've always felt like, in some ways, you have a lot in common with Pat Cooper. I think Pat Cooper's going to live to be 1,000 because he holds nothing in.
That's true.
You know what? The poison's always out for Pat Cooper.
Right.
I think it's a very healthy way. I don't know. You know, I just think that when you let it out like that, how could you be unhealthy?
Right.
poison out of your system.
Uh-oh. Yes?
Since we're all getting out, Trace, I don't understand why you're still have all this animosity towards me.
It's I said it on the wrap-up show. It's not that I really have animosity towards you. You know, Benji came into actually, I think we ran into each other either in the kitchen or the hallway. I don't even know. And he said, why don't we go to lunch and talk it all out and try to work it out? But this is after you had gone on the air like 3 or 4 more times and continued to bash me. To me, that's not trying to work something out. That's just you continually bashing me when I'm not here. And to me, it's just, I don't know.
Since I'm already on the shit list, I can jump in on this
But
one.
I can-
Hold on. Benji came to me twice that week and said, "This is so uncomfortable. Would you please go to Tracy and say I'd like to talk to her?" Tracy said no.
But I didn't say
That was when it
Trace.
first
I didn't
happened.
say it because I didn't feel it was appropriate for me to approach you myself because I thought you didn't want me to.
That was when it all first happened.
Right.
This offer of lunch was like 2 weeks ago.
But
I like Benji being appropriate.
I would hang out with you and bash Gary.
I think I'm done bashing Gary for a while.
And then I would try to have sex with you. Because I'd have a gas mask and some poppers.
But no, really, we don't have to be best of friends, but you seem so angry at me.
You made the comment that I grunted you in the hall. I stopped doing that. I'll give
called
you the
you
nod.
Budo.
I'll say hello to you when I see you. What do you want me to do? Fucking cartwheels down the hallway every
This
time I
show
see
of
you?
yours is very
And,
controversial.
defending Tracy, he did bark at her on the
Yeah.
wrap-up show, which was very upsetting.
She's a
She's
bulldog.
rude.
It was
It's rude.
and I apologize for it. It was in the middle of you were bashing someone that I was dating.
Yeah, and we all see where that went.
Benji just
Okay.
went-
It's I still care about.
Tracy was talking, and Benji just went,
Yeah, because he had nothing intelligent to say. That was the best he could do.
Well, listen,
I
Tracy,
called you out, and I was right, and you knew it, and you had nothing to say.
I think the show's too much.
I think so, too.
for all of us.
Just you.
It might be too much for you.
I love it.
No, he's having a ball.
I love it. I love the Tracy show. Happy hour. What could be better than that? Everyone thinks it's a home run. But, listen, Tracy's got to work with all you guys. So what are we going to do? Poor Tracy.
Gives me a lot of odds.
Poor
It
Tracy.
does, yeah.
Well, look at her. She's obviously upset.
We're both upset.
Don't you think I go home every night upset about what I've just said on the radio?
I wonder
No.
sometimes, but
I
I
think
think
you're
no.
used to it by
I'm
now.
very easy. I have no problem with what I
Sleeps
say.
like a baby.
Like a lox. All right, listen. Here's what I'd say. Give the show a rest. It's too hard.
Yeah.
It's too crazy.
Yeah.
Gary, Tracy will work it out, I believe.
We will.
You will.
Just take some time.
I'd like to see Tracy up at the house so she could get firsthand look at what goes on there.
Do you ski?
I've been skiing. Am I like a skier? No.
Okay.
But then again,
Think of
Jason
that,
sat in the
Gary.
lodge and read a book the whole time. So
Right,
like, he's not a skier either.
What a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised Jason wanted to come.
Right.
He said, I don't ski, but I've... And then the funniest thing
He
was...
took Tracy's spot.
So John and I took lessons all day. Will and I went and tore it up. And Jason's sitting out there, and I came back and I go, Jason's going to be like, oh, God, this sucked. He goes, this was the best time. He made up a story that he ripped up his knee skiing
Right.
so he could talk to everybody. He sat by the fire.
I
he
have a
drank.
torn ACL.
He said he had the best time.
Well, there you go. All
I'm
right,
like a chubby
Tracy,
Bodie
good
Miller.
job on the show.
Thank
Sorry
you.
it's all turned out to be a mess with you and Gary, but I think you're both rational. You'll work it all out.
We will.
All right,
We
thank
will.
you, Tracy.
Thank
you,
you.
Gary.
Tracy.
Done.
No,
Leave me
please, come
alone.
on, hold up, guys.
I already spoke.
No, Gary.
We already spoke.
Did you guys really even resolve anything?
No, we didn't resolve anything except to say that we're going to work on resolving things as time goes by.
How are you gonna?
Time. Listen,
Just
time heals
time heals
wounds.
wounds?
Yeah,
Gonna be a cliche like that?
No, but it does. Today I feel crappy. By Thursday I might feel better and stop by and say hello.
All right. You guys want to hug it out?
No.